We were ready to go. All these projects coming in, one after the other, just fell. Didn't happen. We said, okay, at least we have this project. And then they invited us to have our final meeting. And they invited us just to tell us, no, we're not interested. It costs too much. With big projects like that and big brands, trust is a difficult thing. And so they're not going to spend much time getting to know new people. And if you can't survive these emotional impacts, then you're just not going to make it.
Welcome to Kasa Connect. Together we're exploring the journeys of entrepreneurs, creatives and changemakers shaping the future. Auws is the founder of Hyperfilm and shares the secret of landing big brands like Nike, Adidas and the BBC. Even with the big corporates, you landed them through in-person connection.
Yes, that is, I would still say, by far the easiest way to get in anywhere. And the reason why is because it's with big projects like that and big brands, trust is a difficult thing. Yeah. And so they're not going to spend much time getting to know new people. Typically, the way all human beings work is, hey, I need to do this particular thing. And you go to someone else that you trust and then you ask them, hey, do you know someone that can do this thing? Yeah. Do you know someone that you trust, that you've paid, that can do this thing for sure? And that's typically how it goes.
And say I meet someone that works in one of my dream companies and I really want to do, say, a Kasa catering for them. I meet them. And what would you say is the best next step to connect with them?
I think...
After I've met them, had an initial conversation to check to like land and close the deal.
Yeah. Generally, people are quite selfish. And it's not necessarily a negative thing. They just like talking about themselves. Yeah. Right? And they like themselves. And so you gotta figure out what's valuable for them. What would they appreciate? Be interested, genuinely interested, by the way, in them and their interest and what they've done. And then they're gonna take a liking to you. And the reason they take a liking to you is because you've taken a liking into them. And like I said, people like themselves. So that's really how you get close to anyone.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And circling back to video production in particular, how did you enter the field?
So I've always been a creative. Creativity runs in my family. My dad was a successful playwright. My brother does, graphic design, UX. And so I naturally followed in those footsteps as well, where I think my initial dream when I was younger is to be a world famous painter. Right. And so that was my, like thing. Right.
Yeah. Have you done a lot of paintings?
Yeah, I have. I used to love painting. Like I used to buy canvases and paint every day, and it was great, And I figured that it wasn't really the painting; it was just having, not to sound too philosophical, but literally having a blank canvas and then creating something that was not there is what I enjoyed, and that's still the case now. I like the concept of there being nothingness, and then now there is something of value that would not have been there had it not been through my hand. And so I like that. And I find that video essentially combines all the arts, whether it's sound, visuals, image, it's all in one. So it's the fullest form you could express yourself, in my opinion. Yeah.
How come you chose to do advertising in particular rather than film?
Film's cool. To be very honest with you, I feel like I have a bit of a short attention span. And so staying excited for a very long duration of time about one project, like, if I were to tell you an idea and it's kind of a cool idea, and then I don't know how long that idea is going to remain cool. I don't know if that idea is going to be cool to me 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And so with advertising, it's shorter spans of a bunch of really cool projects. So I get to feel valuable and stimulated more frequently.
No, I completely agree with that because for me, I feel like variety is the spice of life. So like doing those shorter projects really help you get to experience the variety. And when you work with clients, what do you think makes the most successful advertisements?
I would say there's quite a few things, but step number 1 is to know who you're advertising to and who your audience is. I don't know if you've ever had like a random salesperson call you. It doesn't matter if what they're selling is gold or the best thing ever. If it's irrelevant to you, it's irrelevant, right? If your favorite color is red and I'm really trying to sell you this blue thing, it doesn't matter. So firstly is to know who your audience is, know where they are, and then, what they respond well to. And you do that through research, through seeing what's worked well in the past for similar competitors. So that's, I would say, the most important thing. And then beyond that, it gets a lot easier because then you can just speak their language.
Yeah. You've really worked with all the big names out there. Did you ever face a bump in your journey or a difficult period where you felt stuck?
No, it's been smooth sailing. No, of course, all the time, to this day. Yeah. So from the beginning, for instance, one thing I always fear when I have friends approach me saying, "Hey, I want to start a business," and I see the light in their eyes and they're so excited. I worry when that first big hurdle is going to hit them because I know they're unlikely to be prepared for it. And the biggest one that hit us was early, I think year 1, which is when we first got our office space, which was like, wow, we have an office space, what the hell? And then...
Where is your office?
Well, now we've moved several times.
Okay.
Well, initially the office was in like Northwest London, and now we have like a studio. Yeah. But anyway, so essentially once we got the office, and then we got several people reaching out to us, and us reaching out to people, and having meetings, and we were talking about money we've never heard of, and they were super interested, and we were making proposals, and making a proposal at that time was like a long undertaking. Weeks went by when we were ready to go. All these projects coming in, one after the other, just fell, didn't happen, until the last one where we said, okay, at least we have this project. And then they invited us to have our final meeting, and they invited us just to tell us, no, we're not interested. It costs too much. And so I just remember that walk back to the station with me and my 2 co-founders. And it was just like, oh, I guess, we were living in dreamland. It was, we went from having so much potential to now having literally nothing. And so I was totally destroyed on the inside, but I had to give the same spiel of, it's okay, guys, this is just part of it, whatever.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, I just had to make sure that they're okay, because I wouldn't want them to feel demoralized, even though I was feeling it inside myself. And so it's just like, that was our first lesson, that this is how it goes. And if you can't survive these emotional impacts, then you're just not going to make it.
So is there a magic formula to helping you bounce back from struggles?
Yes, but it's not very magical. And it's called grit. And it's not very fancy. There's no system to it. There is nothing like that. It's just keeping going on bad days, when you don't feel like doing things, when things are not going well, when things seem hopeless. Can you keep going?
Did you ever stop believing in your product or yourself when things got bad? Because sometimes they say, you go long enough, but it's still not working. You should know when to give up.
I don't know when to give up. And I think, okay, so some people say, oh, you're so brave for doing something like this. But I think I'm actually more scared of the alternative.
Yeah.
And the alternative is me being in some job that I don't enjoy. Yeah. And okay, fine, I know I can make very good money from a job, but money is just, it's not that valuable to me. I think creating if money comes from something that I'm passionate about, or something that I care about, it's, or something that I feel like, wow, I did this myself through my own connections, through my own work. It just feels a lot more rewarding to me. So I figured, you just have to keep going regardless.
I think that's when you truly realize, okay, this is actually my purpose and my passion, when you're like willing to go through all the tough times too.
Yeah. And look, I know this is for entrepreneurs and people who want to be entrepreneurs, but frankly, it's not something I would encourage for most people. And I think for 99% of people, it's not for them. It's for those few crazy ones that feel like they have to do it, right? Yeah. Then go for it. If you feel like you can withstand the loneliness that comes with it, the hardship, the insecurity that comes with it.
It's romanticized way too much,
Yes.
the entrepreneurship journey, way too much.
It was never cool before.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. And that was the main purpose of why I started Kasa Connect, because I think that I spoke to so many founders and everyone has said a similar thing to you and has gone through a horrible experience, which people don't hear about and think it's an overnight success.
No, it's a continuous struggle.
Yeah.
I would say one of the easiest examples to demonstrate this is when you have a job, no matter how stressful the job, when 5 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever time you finish hits, whatever happens in the company is none of your business.
Yeah, you switch off.
Done. Yeah. When you have a business, when you go home and you see an email or something that's like stressful, that weighs on your mind and sometimes leads to sleepless nights.
I will say that unless you are super passionate about your job, because, for example, my sister's a lawyer and she's not doing it just to have a job. She's actually obsessed with it. So she herself also doesn't switch off. And it's kind of it's a real double-edged sword when you do what you love, because you're willing to give up a lot. It's not just about the money at that point.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But circling back to the topic of, fear, I mean, right now, in the marketing industry, I know there's a lot of fear because of AI and the way that there's a whole shift in the way people are advertising using influencer marketing, UGC content creators. And so a lot of people who are doing kind of traditional advertising is getting scared about their jobs.
Yeah. And I think I understand the fear, and the fear is based on real things. I don't want to sound mean, but, time moves on. And if you don't, time will move on from you. For instance, the sign you have outside, which is printed. There was a point in time where there was extremely skilled painters, sign painters that were perfect with their strokes and their hand to make sure that font is just right. And that's not something that anyone can do. And then printers came along, and now you don't need them anymore, right? And that's just how it is now. It is true that with AI, it's advancing at an insane pace. And I would say do your best to keep up with the news, to know what tools are out there and how you can use it. And I will even go as far as to say this. There will be a point in time where I think the marketing is going to be that this is human-made or something like that. Because beyond good results and good work, people care about working with others as well. I think. I
completely agree. Like now you'll see images that say AI generated, and then you're less likely to like that post or connect with it because you're just like, somebody didn't make this and spend time. So when I was building Kasa, a lot of people were telling me to start recording the behind the scenes of my journey, the construction work, everything happening. But I just wasn't confident enough to put myself in front of the camera. And I keep hearing it till date that content creation and founder-led creation is so important. You need to build your followers. You need to, also like UGC content creators are really important to hire, and influencers, because that's the way of marketing nowadays. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I know this goes against what we do because we make ads, but I always go as far as to say that traditional advertising is almost dead. And that's because no one wants to watch an ad, right? But people want to watch content, especially when there is no lack of good and entertaining content online, and it's as far as a swipe away. And so to sandwich yourself between those pieces of content that have been specifically targeted for the person holding the phone, and they know that they want to watch that content, you need to do something attention grabbing. And so a lot of the times ads are now infused within general content, right?
And then you don't even realize you're being marketed to.
All the time that happens. So
that's so toxic, to be honest.
I mean, it's how it is now. It's just how it is, So for instance, I can give you two examples of this. One was this girl who was framing a TV, and then she was going to put a picture or a video within that frame, and it looks like a nice, like a decorative thing, right? And so she just went through it normally. She's like, oh, and then I got this frame, which I made like this, and then I put it together like this, and I got this TV, and I wanted to mount it here, but I don't know how to mount it. And so I got someone from this app Anyway, he came so quick and he did it for me, and then whatever,
Yeah.
right? Moved on, got like 1 million likes, whatever. It was an ad for that app, right? But it was sandwiched in between
Storytelling as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one. Another one is this company that sells cooking, what do you call it? Cooking stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just like spoons, ladles, things like that. They don't make videos saying, look how great our equipment is or our ladles are. They would make cooking content using their stuff.
Yeah.
And so typically when someone wants to follow along, they want to follow as closely as possible. And so they're going to ask, where is this from? Where did you get this thing from? Where is this thing from? And that's when they can tell them, oh, it's actually, we make it.
Yes. So knowing the way this industry is headed, are you going to pivot your company, and what are you going to do differently?
We're constantly testing things and pivoting all the time. And yeah, one dangerous thing is to be stuck in something that works, because something that works now might not work tomorrow, right?
So true.
Yeah, and so that goes for AI, that goes for content creation, and we're always doing our best to understand this new world that we live in and how it works, marketing and video-wise. And in fact, I've started sharing a lot of this stuff on a channel that we recently made called Mind Behind the Content, where I share some of this insight that isn't easy to come by typically. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like when you share informative topics, and information, that's when it's easier to land clients. But because you're building that trust, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, as any person that's been on a sales meeting knows that you have certain hurdles to overcome, and some of those hurdles is making them like you, making them trust you, making sure that their money is going to a safe place, on a very low level, that they're not getting scammed. And all of those things that I just mentioned get bypassed if they've seen you on video and they know what you're talking about. You're an authority in your space, and you seem like a likable or a trustworthy person. Those get bypassed.
Yeah. So personal branding is really important, right?
Yep.
How
Unfortunately,
have you built your personal brand? What do you think has been your strengths and maybe a few weaknesses?
it's still something I'm building.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, it is. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately because I'm an introvert by nature. It's evidently clear that a personal brand is one of the best ways to do it now. And you can check this. Any brand you love and follow, go to the founders page if they make content, and you'll see that they have more followers than the brand itself. Same goes for Apple, Tim Cook, whatever, right? So I would say, whatever your actual personality is, see whether you can amplify it authentically, right? And what are some of the things that might be unique about yourself, and see whether you can highlight those things.
What are those things for you?
Well, like I said, I think I can be a little blunt. In fact, to be honest with you, I sometimes have to dial that back because I'm always worried that I might offend someone or something.
No, I love the trait of blunt in a person.
Yeah, and with I forget that that's even a thing until I speak to someone that I see they're shocked all of a sudden, and then I am reminded that I can't be like this with everyone. So that's one of my things. The other thing is, I think I am very trustworthy. I'll tell you what isn't good. I'll tell you what is good. And so therefore, I wish to work with people that I trust as well. And I think gut feeling is a big thing too. I've rejected plenty of clients that...
I was going to ask you about that.
I've rejected a lot just based off the fact that I wasn't comfortable with our conversation. They have the money, they have the idea, whatever. But perhaps it was something about the way they spoke or something about their expectations that didn't sit right with me. And so someone that you have a good vibe with, I think is quite important as well.
The other thing I've noticed is that you can't just build a brand and sell a product. You need to be selling like a lifestyle, create a community. Have you noticed that as well? And have you done anything to create your, own community?
Yeah. It's something that I do a lot for my clients.
Yeah.
I have my own community also, but I'm not very good at maintaining it, to be honest with you. And that's, again, it's because I'm not like a bubbly guy by nature. I'm more conserved and more introverted myself. However, yes, you're totally right. Whenever you buy anything, it's typically no one actually buys a thing. They buy what the thing represents,
Yes.
right? If they wear a brand, it's because they wish to belong to the tribe that wears that brand, right? And that's how brands advertise nowadays. You wish to be part of us. You want to be part of the exclusive people. You got to wear what we are selling.
Yeah, the one I've been seeing a lot is Aloe Yoga. They've been doing a lot of yoga retreats and a lot of community events, and they've not been selling their workout clothes, but just because people are feeling part of this community, they feel, that they want to
Exactly
support and wear the clothes.
And one of the best ways to include people is to exclude people, right?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's true. You can't be part of something that doesn't exclude someone else, right? And so if you want to be like, for instance, this milk brand, was it Oatly?
Yeah, Oatly.
Yeah. So they were very famous for their branding, and they were quite provocative about it too.
Yeah.
And they were like, we make milk, but it's for humans, right? Essentially saying that regular milk isn't for humans, it's for baby cows, right? So that was quite clever. And they were excluding people. Yeah.
And it was really interesting because actually we use Oatly, and it's because a lot of people would ask us, oh, which oat milk do you have? So they actually created, real brand loyalty through their marketing.
Exactly. Yeah. And, everyone thinks they can escape it, right? But people are constantly doing things based on how it makes them appear to others. Even for people like me that are like, oh, I don't want to wear any brands or any logos. I'll wear like a plain black T-shirt. I'm still making a statement. That's still a statement within itself.
It
right?
is. It really is.
And so people are, just be aware that people are looking to belong constantly and looking to be part of something, and you need to create that space for them.
In a world where there's just so much content being generated and posted online every single day, how do you make yours stand out?
It's a tough one. I would say a lot of it is through trial and error. And again, it's not a magical answer, but that's just how it is. Have a look at what worked. I would say, if you have the capability and the time, try 10 of one thing, of one style. See if you hit any success with it, and attempt to get better every single time. And then if 10 times it doesn't work, then you can try something else. And it's something that I've gone through with my own channel. For instance, at the beginning, I used to react to ads, right? And then I figured, this should make sense. If I react to ads, then I can show them that I know about advertising, and those people that want ads will watch it and they'll want to work with us. Turns out that's not the case. It was just other random people that also had opinions about the ads, And so now I'm making a lot more educational content, and we're still adapting new things constantly. But easiest answer, have a look at what's worked in other industries actually, and try to replicate something similar in your industry.
Can you give us an example?
Sure. So on YouTube, for instance, have you ever seen like really appetizing titles and thumbnails?
Yeah.
You will find that same thumbnail and title exists times 20 across different types of industries. To give you an example, one of them that we're currently trying is, give me this amount of minutes and I will turn you into X. So for instance, it might be, give me 5 minutes and I'll show you how to be a productivity monster or something, right?
Okay, yes, that's a good one.
That's a
Simple
catchy title.
catchy,
and that's been replicated 100 times now because someone's done it and it worked.
You mentor a lot of entrepreneurs as well and businesses. What do you find is the biggest support that they need help in?
I find that often they know the stuff that they have to do, but they're just not sure where to start. And they feel like there's so much to do, and they're correct. There are about a million things you should be doing in your business. And so they often don't know how to prioritize. for instance, they might say, "Oh, I want to make really cool videos," and I'm like, "Does your product work properly yet? Perhaps you should prioritize that first, right?" And so I help them prioritize things mainly, and then I follow up with them week after week, where I give them a task, a list of tasks to do, and we follow up every week until the priority gets done. Then we move on to the next thing. Otherwise, you'll start a bunch of things, never finish anything.
No, that's so true. I think once you get started with something, so many opportunities just roll in and you want to do everything. And I mean, I'm speaking from personal experience. And sometimes, it's just really hard to execute well on one if you're just jumping into way too many things. I'm curious as to how you went from advertising to also starting this mentorship.
Yeah, sure. So I felt like we were helping some of these big companies, but then I don't know how much we were helping. Like if a $1 billion company makes another 50 million, it's like, okay, great. But when we help like a middle-sized company go from, I don't know, if they're at 5 million and then they add another million, that's significant. That's very significant. And so on a smaller level, with someone that maybe can't afford what we do for them, because video and just creative in general can be expensive. When they can't afford it, I can guide them on how they can start their own thing. I can guide them on just the best steps to take so that they can get to a place where at some point they can work with a company like ours. And so essentially I separated the strategy part of every project and I gave it in isolation for smaller entrepreneurs.
Okay, wow, that's really, really amazing. And just to wrap up, Kasa Connect is really about connection. And so if someone did want your support with their project, how can they get in touch with you?
I suppose they could email me.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. And what's something you'd want from the audience?
Something
that you'd want, or, that would help you with your company and your growth.
You know what? I am all good. But what I would say is check out the channel. You might learn some interesting things from it, the mind behind the content channel.
Okay, perfect. And something else that's unique about Kasa Connect is we're filming in a cafe. So what's your go-to drink on a coffee break?
Oh, man. Is it okay to say I don't drink coffee?
Yeah. Okay. It's a coffee break. You can have water if that's what it is.
I'll tell you what. I'll show you my 2 liter, 2.2 liter water. I drink a lot of water.
Nice. Really good for you. And last thing is, what's the best piece of advice that you regret not taking?
That's a multi-layered question.
Yeah, we like to really leave everyone with some food for thought,
No, sure. Yeah, give me like 5 to 10 seconds. I regret not taking. So I think I should have been more confident in my knowledge earlier on. Because once I gave things a go and I started doing some public speaking and I started doing mentoring, I'm like, oh man, like I feel like I've actually managed to benefit quite a few people. And I feel like I should have started that a bit earlier. Yeah.
It's amazing how you've gone from an introvert to a public speaker.
It's still scary.
Yeah.
It's still scary, but you have to keep doing things that you find scary, right?
No, I completely agree. Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.